Sometimes when you're sad, low, bummed out, the only way to clear your energy is to just sit in it, stew in it, to just really feel those feelings. Not always, but often, I find that playing some really forlorn, dark, somber chords helps me convert that energy to a higher frequency, helps me turn the lead to gold. There is a chord sequence that does this perfectly. I'll show you. And maybe the next time you are feeling low, you can play them, and they'll help you exorcise the demons, and maybe you'll leave the keyboard feeling a bit clearer. It starts with a G minor chord, which we'll build using the notes of the G Dorian mode. We'll be looking at 2 octaves of G Dorian. The chords we are going to build have a common foundation, a G minor triad, which we can build by starting on G and skipping a note to arrive at B flat, the minor third, and then skipping another note and arriving at D, the 5th. This is G minor, a G minor triad. We will continue this pattern to build our first chord. We need 2 more notes, so we'll skip E and include F, the 7th, and then we'll skip G and include A, the 9th. This is G minor 9. The second chord changes only 1 note and by only 1 semitone. Take F and shift it down to E, the 6th. This all of a sudden becomes a G minor triad with the 6th and 9th hovering above. And refreshingly, the name of this chord is pretty straightforward. This is G minor 6-9. These are our 2 chords. Check out how they lean back and forth in kind of a morose slump. Okay, so now I'll show you how I painted this harmony across a track and alchemized a darker day of my own. First, we need to voice these 2 chords. Let's move the root into the bass register by shifting it down an octave. We'll do this for both chords. We will be removing these root notes from the piano part and giving them to the bass, but I will keep them here for now for reference. Next, we'll shift the top note, A, down an octave. Now A, the 9th, is tucked under the minor third, B flat, creating this semitone blur right at the bottom of the voicing. And for one more detail, we will add over top of the second chord, G minor 6-9, a repetition of the 9th, A, in 2 octaves. On beat 3, it will be 2 octaves higher, and on beat 4, it will be 1 octave higher. We will let them ring out and sustain, which works great with the harmony as A is part of both chords. Super spacious and brooding, but remember, that's what we are giving the negativity to feast on, so that once satiated, it will leave us alone. Now, let's take our initial chords and build a synth layer, which will be the driving rhythmic force in the musical idea. We're going to remove the root for both of these chords. And now we will simply descend through the chords in a 16th note pattern. We'll do this on every beat. And for the last beat of each chord, so beat 4, we are going to reverse the direction. We'll start on A, an octave lower, and then rise back up through the chord. We'll do this for both chords. Here's our synth line. For our drum groove, we are going to coast and let this minor darkness smolder. Our ride cymbal is going to play a steady stream of 8th notes, with the quarter note pulse very subtly accented. Next, we'll add hi-hat splashes. on every quarter note of every bar. Then for our kick drum and rim, we're not going to do a whole choreography. This is not dance mode. This is stare straight ahead with dead eyes mode. We'll put a kick on beat 1 and 3 of every bar, and a rim on beat 2 and 4 of every bar. We're going to make a couple more additions, but they will be informed by our bass line. So first, let's put our bass line together. All I want from the bass is to reinforce the root of the chords, G. Since both chords are G minor chords, the bass can just coast on G throughout. We will start with G on beat 1 of each bar. Then in bar 4, we will add a G on beat 3 an octave lower. But I want to have this bass more synchronized with the drum track, and I also wanted to leave a lot more space for the other elements. So we'll reduce each G to 1 beat. And now we will cut the Gs on beat 1 in half, and then split the first into 2 16th notes. The first will remain on G, but the second will go down to the 5th, D. For the G on beat 3 of bar 4, we will do the same thing, except we won't add the D in between. And we'll allow the lower G to extend another 8th note. The lower pitch on this upright bass sound has a heft that really comes through if we let it ring out longer. Now, let's mirror these G rhythms in our drum pattern by adding kicks on the and of 1 of each bar. These are the points where the bass plays G, the ones that were not yet reinforced with a kick. And we'll set up these moments by adding another kick on the and of 4. This lets the kick step into this rhythm and gives the overall rhythmic distribution more balance. For a final bass detail, we will add another 16th note D before all of our Gs, except for the low Gs in bar 4. These are played as a muted X note and just gives the rhythm more articulation. In other words, these are felt more than heard. And for a final bit of detail to further synchronize the drums, we'll add hi-hat splashes on the and of beat 3 and 4 in bar 4, the last bar of the loop. This lines up with the low Gs in the bass and also adds some more energy to the last bar, which pushes it back to the beginning of the loop. Now, let's add a couple ghost notes. We'll add a ghost rim on the 16th note before the last rim on beat 4 of bar 4. And we'll add a ghost kick on the last kick of the pattern, on the 16th note before the and of 4 in bar 4. And also in the ride cymbal pattern, we'll add a low velocity ride hit on the last 16th note of the bar. The ride cymbal hits on beat 1 of each bar and also on the and of 3 in bar 4 are where the chord changes and also where the bass goes to the low G. To give these moments more emphasis, we'll change them to a ride edge hit, which creates a bit more of a crashing sound. And for just one more tiny detail, we'll add a hit on beat 1 of the whole loop on an additional cymbal to give the beginning of the loop an extra emphasis and additional splash. This is nice, but we are missing one thing, a melody. In bar 2 over our G minor 6/9 chord, we have this punctuation in the 2 A notes in the piano. But over the first chord, we need a question that these A notes can be the answer to. Let's continue to highlight this A note as a focal point by building a shape around it in the first bar of our chord sequence. We'll use 16th notes and approach A from above, moving from C the 11th to B flat the minor 3rd, and then playing A the 9th twice. Notice how we land on A on the 16th note after beat 3. This is a nice dash of syncopation, emphasis of the in-between rhythms. Next, in beat 4, let's land on A the same way, but this time approach from below, from G. Now we've got this melody asking a question, and the high A notes in the piano part are the answer. But on piano, this melody is lacking some expression to my ears. Let's play this melody on guitar. But before we do, I want to let you know that if the ideas and approaches we have explored in this video resonate with you, you can take the full deep dive and learn how to bring these concepts into your own music with my courses. And if you want a full toolkit that gives you instant access to the kinds of chords, drum patterns, bass lines, and melodies, then check out Vible Volume 1. And if you want to join a community of learning where you'll get exclusive packs, access to Q&As, master classes, and more, then check out my Skool. You'll find all the links below. If I sit with this looping and explore some G minor melodic motion on top, it isn't long before my nervous system has indulged the melancholy enough. I start to feel like those feelings have run their course, and I'm ready to move on. This can be a powerful and therapeutic aspect of music. It allows us to get right to the core of an emotion, and once you've touched on the main circuit, it shorts and gets neutralized. I suppose a simple way to say it is, music is a powerful way to feel, and when we know how to get at specific feelings with music, we can wield music as a tool for clarity in an ever-complicating world. Until next time, farewell.